Sweet. I think we're good. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. I'm not going to do any of the high production value type stuff with this video. I'm just going to shoot it straight off of this right here. I'm going to come, because I've been meaning to do this for a while now, I'm going to do another collection video of mine. And this is going to consist of comics, video games, movies, DVDs, television series or whatever if I have it. In this video, I'm going to actually concentrate on the Xenomorph series, better known as Aliens. Now, Aliens is the series itself is about these parasitic creatures in outer space that take host and take different species and impregnate them, and that creates they're a host for another life form that eventually kills them. And everybody knows this. This is probably one of the most pronounced and well-known sci-fi horror franchises in movies. But they've done some games, they've done some new things, and I talked about the latest movies, which are just terrible. And yeah, I gotta forgive me because it's going to keep switching colors like that. But I do have some of the I do have a couple of the movies. And in this video, I'm not going to be talking about AVP type thing, not Predator, but I will talk about AVP. But anyways, let me just get on with it. I got a whole stack of books. I've read about half of them. I'll start with the ones that I've read already, because I got a whole bunch of them. Well, not a whole bunch, it's like 8. We do have the Alien series. These books, and the first one is Aliens Earth Hive, and this is one of my favorite books, and it's about this woman named Billy and this former Marine that's named Wilkes, who have been in contact and been really one of the few survivors against the alien assault, and how they're on this mission to capture an alien, and all humanity's worst come out. So of course they underestimate the xenomorphs to the fullest, and just a whole bunch of shenanigans ensue. I really do enjoy this book, and I like the relationship between these two characters, and it also shows it gives you a bit more with the aliens. Not that you see anything from their perspective, but you get to see more of their lifestyle, in a sense, I guess you could say. There's this one sequence where these scavenger guys are trying to salvage the ship, and then the xenomorph kills them. So, and you get to see how powerful the xenomorph really is. And there's another part where they have this kind of big battle between these survivors and this whole herd of xenomorphs. And the ending does come with a pretty interesting surprise, but I like that this book also establishes that the xenomorphs aren't always bad guys, because if you watch the alien movies, the humans are just as bad as the xenomorphs. So there is that. The sequel to that one is Nightmare Asylum, and then this one, Wilkes and Billy and the survivors, the few survivors from the first book, end up, and I think by this time on Earth Hive, the aliens have, another thing I didn't say was, the aliens have overrun Earth by the end of the book. And it's due to stupidity of people and greed of people. And who in the hell is going to put a parasitic life form on their planet when just one of those things are capable of wiping out entire planets? And you have recorded documents of that. But that's what happens. As well as a fanatical cult who for some reason think that's God. But in this one, the crew ends up getting put with the space station, or the space station, I guess you could say, with this crazy military guy who's trying to train xenomorphs to use as his fighting army. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why I get this camera. I get this yawning. But I mean, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. But anyway, this general is trying to train xenomorphs, so when he's going to use his xenomorphs to fight the xenomorphs on Earth to take back Earth. And to some extent, it's an interesting idea, but again, it shows you that the xenomorphs aren't actually like the main threat. They aren't the only threat. It shows you how crazy humans are and how vicious humans are. If you see, much as the xenomorphs are just ferocious to other species, they really don't hurt each other like that. And this, it just again dives really deep into how bad people are. And then finally, book 3, we have the female war, and a favorite of the series, Ripley, is introduced, and this takes place after the events of Alien 3, and it does have a really interesting explanation as to how Ripley makes its appearance after Alien 3, and I do like the fact they kind of do tie that into the established lore, and it's pretty interesting how they do it. But in this one, the female war, it's basically mostly is really focusing on the struggle between Ripley, Billy, and this alien queen, the queen of all queens, that is reaching out across the cosmos. And it's really just the focus of this struggle between these two forces, these two characters trying to take on this queen of all queens, and it's an interesting concept because they decided they're going to go to the alien homeworld to capture the Queen of Queens, deliver her to Earth, and then get hopefully they can gather, using her, gather all of the xenomorphs in one place and then just bomb them all, take them all out in one blow, which is kind of an interesting. It's an interesting plan, but I don't see a planet full of xenomorphs all going into one spot like that. I really don't, especially since they tend to, and this is Earth, we have a lot of places that are underground, so they tend to burrow, or they tend to go in really deep, dark places. So I never really liked that. Me personally, I'm not going to say it's the weakest of the 3, but I think it could have been done better, especially when you get to the alien home world, that there is no variations between the alien species. Yeah, you got the different queens, but they're not like, they're just bigger queens. They're not like, okay, the alpha queen of all queens has like, because I was hoping that she would have like this big like serpent, like centipede like look to her, because I'm like, you the queen of queens, you like the ultimate queen, so it's like you should look different. But she was just pretty much a really big version of a regular alien queen. I kind of was disappointed with that, and kind of how they had this whole battle, because they did try to talk to people in positions who were able to who could actually would have made for who actually could have gave them the resources to kind of do like an all-out assault to try to capture this queen, which is what I would have loved to have seen. But it's pretty much just ragtag of people. It's pretty much this ragtag team of people sent to this alien home world where all these freaking aliens originated and stuff, and they go capture, and they do capture, and it's pretty intense. Although, again, I would have loved to see actually just read the whole, okay, humanity's united in this one assault against the xenomorphs, and they all these, you know what I'm saying, all of these people have put their lives on the line for humanity, for Earth, to capture this one queen, to give them hope that they can extinguish the xenomorph menace. But the battle doesn't really go like that. It's kind of, honestly, it is kind of disappointing. And even with the ending a little bit, it does kind of leave off on a kind of like, what if, like, you're not certain if it's going to happen or not. You know, I wish they could have had like a time jump or something, and then say, and we could have got some kind of resolution towards that. And I know there are some books that kind of continue this series, as well as some graphic novels. So I'm not sure if they actually do that. But it's pretty, still a pretty solid read. I do like that. Those are some really solid reads. It's a really good story, and I like the character development between Wilkes and Billy. There are these moments where there's kind of like this sexual tension between these two, because they have been through so much. So you would kind of see them possibly getting together because of the tragedy of events and how they've come to just love and depend on each other. So, and I kind of would like to see that go that way, but that's neither here nor there. Next, we have Tim Lebbin's Alien Out of the Shadows. I read this book because it's part of the established lore, and to some extent, it was like a 50-50 to me. I mean, it's a really good read. I will give it that. But I feel like, because this is what happens, it takes place between the second and the third movie, I think. Or the first and the second movie. Ripley is awaking on this ship, where after the events of the first Alien, Ash, the crazy cyborg, or whatever the hell it was, is still actually alive. He's actually in the computer systems and stuff. So she ends up meeting this crew. That end up. Let me stop messing up. Ash takes control of the ship that she jettisoned out in. He docks it with this crew. This crew end up mining on a planet that has xenomorphs, and by this time that's going on, the xenomorphs end up attacking the ship that they're on. So now Ripley has to band with these survivors to have to deal with this situation. Now, I think it's an interesting premise because of how they kind of established Ripley was in it. But it's kind of like, if you watch the Aliens, it doesn't really support it. They don't like ever bring up this situation again. But then again, I would say they didn't have a chance to. But there were several instances in the movie where she probably could have mentioned this if this was a recurring thing. But in my honest opinion, Ripley should not have been in this book because it kind of messes with the lore. This could have been a good story without Ripley in it. And I think what they did was they took Alien and they took Aliens and they put them together in one book. Because the first half of the book is these people are trying to survive the xenomorphs on their ship. The second half is they get on the planet, have to survive the xenomorphs on the planet. While all at the same time, Ash, the Ash virus, or whatever the hell he is at this point, his non-corporeal form is wreaking havoc on the space station too. So, trying to still get a xenomorph sample for some reason. But I think that this book would have been better served had it either been just on the ship, because there is something going on with the ship. The ship is destroyed, is really messed up. So there's an urgency with them being on the ship, but there's also an urgency with them being on the planet because they had to deal with the xenomorphs that are on the planet. So I think the story would have been either or, and it should not have been both. Maybe at the beginning of the story, if the ship got messed up and they got stranded down there, okay, fine, I could deal with that. Maybe if they were stuck on the planet and they were trying to get on this ship, fine. But to have like these situations with xenomorphs is on both sides of it and all of this stuff is going on, I don't think they should have had it. And I really don't think they should have had Ripley in it. They did have a pretty strong protagonist in it. I cannot remember this guy's name. Chris Hooper. Yeah, he was a very likable character, so I really wish that the book would have just followed him rather than just introduce Ripley. Now, I do have 4 more Alien books, and I have not read them yet. The River of Pain, which I think is actual sequel to Out of Shadows. Haley's Hope. Oh, this, I believe, is supposed to follow the story of Newt. Yeah. Okay, this is this precedes the events of Aliens, so I definitely need to read this. I didn't, like I said, I have another one, The Sea of Sorrows, and I'm not even sure where the hell this one is. I don't know what the hell this is. I don't know. I mean, see, I don't know. It's got a pretty cool cover. See, oops. Yeah, that's a pretty cool cover. Just like this one. This one's pretty badass too, and this one as well. So all these got some pretty badass looking covers. Uh, but I definitely need to check this one out now because I'm like skimming over. I'm like, I don't know what the hell it's talking about, but I definitely need to check that one out. We have Aliens, Criminal Enterprise on a lawless planet, savagery reigns. This guy looks like Edward Norton. I'm sorry, this dude looks just like Edward Norton. Caught in a drug scheme gone bad, pilot Thomas Chase volunteers for a short-run mission to the planet Fantasia to save his no-good brother Pete. Everything from synthetic heroin to MX7 is cooked on Fantasia, a rock planet terraformed to hide an elaborate drug manufacturing operation and protect the caves and guarded by the savage aliens. Savage aliens. When Chase Crab touched down at Fantasia, the chain of events begins that can't be stopped as criminals and competitors try to take over the drug empire from the kingpin. Okay, this seems like this is going to be one of those books where it's going to be three continuous forces going on. You have the good guys, you have the opposing bad guys, and then you got the xenomorphs on the side. It kind of threw me off when it was talking about the aliens were protecting the drugs. I don't know. And then we have this Alien versus Predator Prey. Have not read it. Will read it. Then I put a review on it. And I wonder if this is Billy. Oh, Machiko Noguchi. If I'm correct, this is the woman that eventually starts training and living with the predators. So she ends up getting their gear, learning their fighting techniques and things like that. So I hope that is her because I have been interested in follow up on her. Of the original Alien movies, I only have one, and that's Aliens because Aliens is my favorite. For those who don't know, Alien picks up at the events of Alien, where Ripley ends up going to this planet, followed by these Marines, and they're trying to figure out why the hell why the hell they lost contact there, and of course they had to deal with an army of aliens. And not only is this movie not only is it action packed, it's suspenseful. It definitely holds the edge when it comes to horror. The practical effects look freaking awesome. Still hold up to today. Yeah, there are one or two moments you might see a wire here or something like that, but the effect that they were going for still is great. Better than some of the effects I've seen. Definitely better than the effects I've seen in Alien Covenant. I'll tell you that. A hell of a lot better. But that is by far the best one. And I think that's the best one to a lot of people across the board. I know a lot of people like the first one because it's very suspenseful and there's great build up. But I think because of the action and the balance of action as well as horror and science fiction is done really well in this, that people favor this one over the first one if they don't favor the first one over that one. But at least those two will be on top. I'm going to branch over again to the AVP where I have AVP Requiem. I got this from Mom's house because she had bought two, so I just told her I was going to take it, and she said no, but I took it anyway. And I do like Requiem better. I hate the characters because they're so stupid and one-dimensional, but I like the way the aliens operate in the movie and the way the Predator, especially the Predator. Of any movie, I think the Predator got the most shine in this movie because you saw him actually hunt. You saw a little bit of the home world. You saw a lot more gadgets and a lot more toys, a lot more gear and equipment. And I think that's probably one of the best things about this movie because people did not like the first AVP. I did, but I do recognize they did focus so much on characters that we didn't care about, didn't know nothing about, didn't like. Although I did like Sana Lathan's character. She was really cool. And she was probably the smartest one out of everybody. Even when she was telling people that this wasn't a good idea, they still did it. But she came out on top. So Sanaa Lathan, you're awesome. But one of the things in that movie was like the Predators got no shine at all. It was there was one Predator that got wiped out before he could do anything. One Predator got killed by the alien he was fighting, and I still don't understand how the hell he got killed by the alien. But then you did have the one alien called Scar. I had the book, and the main alien Predator was called Scar. But in this one, you do get to see another Predator actually hunting the aliens, and successful too. So I do appreciate that a lot, and I do kind of like the alien Predator hybrid. It looks really cool, and I don't see how in the hell it bounces that big ass head on them shoulders and a little bitty neck or whatever. But the only problem I have with this Predator alien is how it affects people. It doesn't lay eggs the traditional way, and I think it's different. It's different, but I think they could have done a little bit better with that. But anyway, this is a pretty badass looking picture. The level of detail is pretty cool. So there is that one. And finally, of all my alien xenomorph stuff that I have, which isn't really much, but my favorite one, and definitely the best one, Alien Isolation. This game is the freaking game for alien fans who want to fight the xenomorph. I love the AVP. It was two or three other AVP games that I played, but none of them capture the universe of the xenomorph like this game. It's very suspenseful. The world itself is really fleshed out. It feels, looks, and sounds like it is in the alien universe. The moments where you're having to deal with this alien because you can't fight it head on. There have been a whole bunch of times like maybe if I shoot it in a certain spot with the flare gun or with the gun or something, or hit it with the taser thing, that I could fight the thing off. Nope, you can't do that till you get the flamethrower later on in the game. But if you want a very good, suspenseful, scary experience, this game is, especially with the xenomorph. The xenomorph in this game is freaking awesome. You cannot make too much noise. It will hunt you down. When it's out skulking and stalking around looking for you, you got to hide from it. It's very unpredictable, especially when it can just go up into the vents and stuff and just pop out wherever. I think one of my biggest problems with the game overall really is the androids in the game. I think there are a little bit too many of them. Feels like I'm playing Fallout 4 with all the synthetics everywhere. But aside from that little bit, and then another thing is there's a sense of urgency because the space station is messed up, as well as you having to deal with other humans as well as these synthetics. So there's a lot going for this game. But for fans who want the ultimate alien experience, buy Alien Isolation. It's definitely worth the money, and it definitely keep you on edge. But that's my collection of the Alien franchise. So just letting you guys see that stuff, and I like talking about these type of things. I want to do more, which I will do later on. But anyways, guys, in the comment section below, let me know what are your thoughts on I guess the overall Alien franchise, and have you read, watched, or played any of these? Let me know your experiences in the comment section below. Be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what's going on here on the Narik Chase channel. And we'll definitely catch you guys on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so y'all stay tuned for that, and we'll catch you guys later. Peace out.